going to share with you this really neat thing. Jack Canfield, this is what I gave Jack the passion test. It was so much fun. And when I got through, he said, this is what makes the passion test way out, takes the passion test way out into the field than any other thing in order to live your passions. And it's what's called markers. So I'm going to share with you a little story. I go to India every year. I speak at the International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh, India. It's a blast. I've been going to India since 1980. I just love India. It's my second home. And I met this this Ayurvedic physician. You know, Ayurveda can take your pulse, and by taking your pulse can actually tell you. It's a form of healing and has all this healing modalities to it. How many know about Ayurveda in this room? Ooh, you guys are so with it. I love this. And if you don't, find out about Ayurveda, Ayurveda. I have a friend in Bombay named Dr. Pankaj Naram, and Chris and I were in Bombay, and we went to visit Pankaj, and he's packing. And this guy has this big clinic in this place called Malad, and he has like princes and kings and lepers and tuberculosis patients, and I mean, you name it, and they're all in a line, everybody, yogis, and he's just taking their pulse one by one by one by one. And he's always busy, and his clinic is packed. And we go to see him in his apartment, and he's packing all of these papers and pens. And I went, what are you doing, Pankaj? What are you doing? He said, I'm going away to design the next 21 years of my life. And he got my attention. And I said, and he said, 21 years ago, I was a bald man who knew nothing from nowhere. He said, I was an Ayurvedic physician, but I wasn't the teacher living and teaching. And all my patients left me. And he said, one day I was walking across the street, and I saw one of my patients, and they were the picture of health, and I ran up to that person, and I said, did I do this? And he said, nope. And Pankaj said, who? And he said, I've been studying with this Ayurvedic master. Pankaj said, I want to go study with him. So the man took him to him, and he started studying with him. And one day when he was with his master, this Ayurvedic physician, his master said to him, Pankaj, if you could have, do, or be anything. In other words, he was asking him, what are you passionate about? Just like today. What would that one thing be? He was asking him, what's one of your passions? And Pankaj stopped for a minute. He said, if I could have, do, or be anything, I'd be a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician. And his master said, like I did today, write it down. So he wrote it down. But then his master did this really cool thing. His master said, Pankaj, if you already were a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician, what would be a marker or a guidepost or a signpost that that passion is being lived full out? In other words, he was asking him to really like see himself 100% out of 10 living that passion before he was there. What would that look like if you were living that at a 10? And Pankaj sits and he goes, if I was already a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician, I would take the pulse of over 100,000 people. His master said, write it down. He said, anything else? He said, if I was a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician, Mother Teresa would come to my clinic and thank me for my work. His master said, didn't flinch, write it down. Anything else? He said, if I was already, he was getting into it, if I was already a world-renowned physician, it was fun. If I was already a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician, I'd have clinics all over the world. He's getting really proud of himself. I'd have clinics all over the world. Master said, same thing, write it down. Anything else? If I was already a world-renowned Ayurvedic physician, I would take the pulse of the Dalai Lama. Master said. What do you think his master said? Yeah. Now, here's what's really cool. So Pankaj turns to me and he goes, I've taken the pulse of over 400,000 people. I have clinics all over the world. In the 80s, Mother Teresa came to my clinic and thanked me for my work with HIV patients. Now, here was the cool thing. He and I were on our way to meet one of his masters, because I like traveling all over India and Nepal and meeting all these strange people that are awake. And we were on our way to meet someone he thought was really special. We were on the tarmac in Delhi, in the plane, waiting to go to Kathmandu. and his cell phone rings. And he answers it, and guess who it was? Yep, the Dalai Lama. And I went, can I talk to him? Anyway, Pankaj for a time was his personal Ayurvedic physician. Now, 21 years ago, though, he wrote what we call markers. This is a marker. A marker is a signpost or a guidepost that your passions are being lived full out. Signpost or guidepost. Evidence, 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 evidence that without a doubt, your passions are being lived full out.